What's going on today? This is David again. Just coming to bring you out another video. Um, been having a lot of stuff put together. This video is going to be called Sit in the Dust. All right, it's the prophecy concerning the land of America, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, and what's been ordained by the Lord since the beginning. What's going to take place here, what many people don't know or understand. Um, it's going to be a full breakdown from Adam and Eve all the way down to Revelation. Okay. Um, Sit in the dust. Right. The serpent's going to sit in the dust. His pride, his arrogancy, his wickedness, the serpent that turns into Satan. Things are going to change here in this land. It's not the times that you remember are going to be over. They've implemented the plan. They're going to try to reopen everything. But now you got this in the back of your mind, this uh, cold, right? And now you're walking around fearful, paranoid. They're just leading you right to the chip. Pretty soon you can't walk around without your mask on no more. Right? It's part of the plan because they know they're about to sit in the dust. Uh, Heavy clay, thick clay, debt. And now we're pushing 29 trillion and counting. You read the book of Habakkuk, talks about that, did a whole video on it. At this pace, you were looking at 50 trillion in 3 to 4 years. It's just not going to work out. That's just not going to work out. Other nations are starting to teeter against America. They're starting to make different allegiances. They're not looking at this place as the power it once was. It's ordained from the Father that it will be that way because it's cursed. The serpent's going to sit in the dust for all his evil that he's done and what he's done to the children of Israel, the Lord's precious silver and gold, the apple of his eye, and not keeping the commands. Um, First and foremost, give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and all praise to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and mankind who fears God. Repent, stay in the Spirit, prepare yourselves, prepare your homes, keep your mind focused on the Spirit and the Word, not what's going on here, because it's dwindling. All right, let's get it. Sit in the dust. The serpent. Let's read the first book of Adam and Eve, chapter 17, verses 1 through 6. Then Adam and Eve came out of the mouth of the cave and went towards the garden. But as they drew near to it, before the western gate, from which Satan came, when he deceived Adam and Eve, that's right, you Israelites were deceived here in the West. That's right. You native indigenous Indians, so-called Hispanics and Latinos, you were deceived in the western gate by the serpent. Let's read. They found the serpent that became Satan. Right. The serpent's going to turn into Satan. That's right. Everything abominable is okay here now. There are no rules. Politicians are paid off. You know it. Let's read. Coming at the gate and sorrowfully licking the dust. That's right. Sorrowfully licking the dust. Let's read. And wriggling on its breast on the ground by reason of the curse that fell upon it from God. That's right. It's cursed. Let's read. This is what you're seeing right now if you're paying attention. But if you got to know the scriptures to understand it. Let's read. And whereas aforetime the serpent was the most exalted of all beasts. That's right. Now it was changed and become slippery. That's right. You don't want to know if you want to deal with America like you used to. They got that debt. They don't really do anything here. It's coming slippery. That's right. And the meanest of them all. That's right. They didn't want to give you any stimmy. They hustled you. All the other countries took care of all their people. But here, they take care of the rich and the CEOs. They don't care about the people. But he's going to get meaner than that soon. Don't forget this Theraflu going around, the drink they want to give you, the poison of the serpent. That's right. And it crept on its breasts and went on its belly, right? For this thought process, they're going to fall. And it's been going on for centuries. Let's read. And whereas it was the fairest of all beasts, it had been changed and was become the ugliest of them all. That's right. Instead of feeding on the best food, now it turned to eat the dust, right? The food in your grocery stores. Remember back in the days of ancient or, old times, you had real corn, you had your cows that were grazing in America. It was beautiful, right? You had your rolling hills, all that stuff. Now you go in the grocery store, it's not real food. They're called food products, right? Pepsi got 80 grams of sugar. The beef, you don't know what's in it. Um, you're looking. It's death. Everything here is death. Let's read. Instead of dwelling as before in the best places, now it lived in the dust. Right. It's gonna. Things are gonna get really bad here. People who are high, who aren't really stable, they're gonna come down very low. And whereas it had been the most beautiful of all beasts, I've made thee a golden cup into the nations, of all which stood dumb at its beauty. That's right. You've all been delusioned by America. He stood dumb at his beauty. It was now aboard of them. They're all going to turn their back here. The beasts. They're going to run away from the serpent. And again, whereas it dwelt in one beautiful abode, to which all other animals came from elsewhere. That's right, Babylon, the golden cup, one beautiful abode. New York, New York. Right. Vegas, Cali. That's right. Not anymore. To which all the other animals came from elsewhere, and where it drank, they drank also of the same. That's right, you all drink the serpent's water. Now, after it had become venomous, right, venomous. It's not good to do what they teach you. It's the serpent. That's right. By reason of God's curse, all beasts fled from its abode. It would not drink of the water it drank, but fled from it. That's right. They're going to stop drinking the water here. They're going to flee from America. All the other beasts. Let's read Enoch chapter 21. Mm-hmm. And I proceeded to where things were chaotic and saw there's something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it like great mountains and burning with fire. Then I said, for what sin are they bound? That's right. And on what account have they been cast in hither? Then said Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, Enoch, why dost thou ask? And why art thou eager for the truth? That's right. Why are you eager for the truth, Enoch? These are the number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and are bound here till 10,000 years. The time entailed by their sins are consummated. That's right. Your sins are gonna reach heaven. That's right. The more the sin that you see here, the more the debt keeps growing. It's a ticking clock. And now you're starting to see differences in the earth. Other nations aren't afraid of this place anymore. They're going to stop drinking the water. Isaiah chapter 47, verses 1 through 15. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. There's not going to be kingship here anymore. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. That's right. Take the millstones and grind meal. That's right. You better learn how to make bread in your house. Not going to be no Fred Meyers, no Safeways, Costco's during these times. You better have some food put away. Grind meal. You better know how to make a loaf of bread. You know what I mean? Get some beans. That's right. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. That's right. All her nakedness is seen all over the world now. The evil, the meanness. That's right. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Everyone sees it. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. That's right. Yahushua is not coming back the way you guys think he's coming back. That's right. Let's read. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. That's right. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever. That's right. You always thought it was going to last forever. It's not. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. That's right. Where's the wisdom at here? Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for thy great abundance of thine enchantments. Yeah, your schools, your lies, movies, special effects, enchantments, artificial intelligence, all the stuff that goes on here. It's all foolishness. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. It's not from the Lord. That's right. And thou said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. It's if so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Right? All those things are not going to help you. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. They're going to flee. None shall save thee. That's right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lamentations chapter 4, verses 16 through 22. The anger of the Lord hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. You Israelites, you keep looking to the beasts for help. You better stop that. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. That's right. They're not going to save you here. There's a serpent. Deceivers. They hunt our steps. That's right. That we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. That's right. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. That's right. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord. Right. The anointed is the breath of you Israelites' nostrils, because they have the breath from the Lord. Let's read. Was taken in their pits. They even took the anointed and put them in those slave ships. of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Right. You were going to live amongst the anointed of the Lord in the land of your captivity. But they even took him, took away your knowledge, because it's a command. You must listen to the various voices who are the anointed of the Lord. Let's read. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked. That's right, you're drunk, Edom. Drunk with pride from the serpent. That's right. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. That's right, you Israelites, your captivity is coming to an end. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. That's right, that's what's happening here. A lot of random shootings. That's right. Sending judgment out. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 1 through 46. That's right. Mm-hmm. The word of the Lord's the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish, and conceal not, say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. That's right. A lot of these nations that are staying here, they're going to leave here. That's right. It's been taught from the beginning. Teaching the end from the beginning. That's right. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. Why are they weeping? The 2/3 got taken out. That's right. They shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. That's right. You were deceived by the serpent in the west. You forgot your resting place. So the anointed of the Lord have to come bring it back to you. Let's read. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not. Because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. That's right. Because you sin, they think they can get away with this. The Lord is going to show mercy to Israel, always. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks, be as oxes before the flocks. Let's read. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage. Because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. That's right, greedy, and you're proud. Greedy, proud, you're arrogant, swinging the pearls, champagne spilling, Babylon. That's right. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. That's right. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahushai. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahushai. Take vengeance upon her. As she hath done, do unto her. That's right. All your murdering, killing, it's going to come back to you. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. That's right, the beasts are going to flee. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. You Israelites are broken because of this deception. You don't even believe the truth. That's right. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria. And I'll bring Israel again to his habitation. I, Yahushai, will bring Israel again to his habitation. That's right. And he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. We didn't see this take place when those people came in 1948. Wasn't no war. Nope. Nothing going down. Now people come from all over the world. Right? They weren't weeping. Right? Let's read. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none. Right, because this gospel will be preached across the four corners of the earth. You're going to know exactly what you need to do. And the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve, the elect and the remnant. He's going to give, because they're under the law of liberty. They have the doctrine, and they're keeping the commands. Go up against the land of Meriathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How was Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahushai our God, the vengeance of his temple. That's right. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall all her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall. That's right, slippery serpent. And none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus saith Yahushai, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong, Yahushua of hosts is his name, and he shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Right, you've never been disquieted here. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. That's right. Judah shall be a terror unto Babylon. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is a land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Right. So when did that happen? There isn't a land that hasn't been inhabited forever here. Just saying. As Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel, and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array like a man to the battle. Against thee, O daughter of Babylon, the king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong, but I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Right? Who's going to be the shepherd that leads the 2/3? Who's going to take out the 2/3? That's what he's talking about. Let's read. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he taketh against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely it shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. That's right. Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus saith Yahushua, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forgotten, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. You have not been forgotten for your iniquity, Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that hath made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. That's right, they're fleeing. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. They don't yield to the Lord. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahushua hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. That's right. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. He spoke it since the beginning. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom. He hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is Brutus by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. That's right. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them. That's right. You're not supposed to be depending on the carnal things, but the breath of the Spirit. Let's read. For he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahushua of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. You Israelites, when you rise against the two-thirds, that's when you're going to rise against everyone else. That's the shepherd that's going to bring all this in. Let's read. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. And I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. Right. These fake pastors out here. Let's read. And these false prophets. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in your sight, done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. And all the evil they've done to you out through all these centuries, it's going to be rendered back. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. 7 burning mountains. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as rough caterpillars, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, and the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They have become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, at one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahushua, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. That's right, you Israelites. He's devoured you. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Right, the remnant, that's what you're going to be about. Getting vengeance for the flesh shed here. Shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. That's right, you're going to die for this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I'll plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea, and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, and astonishment, and a hissing, without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions, they shall yell as lions' whelps. In their heat I will make their feasts, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice, and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How is Shishak taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How are you surprised that this is going to happen? How is Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea has come up upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Bel in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. That's right, rumors of war. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come upon her from the north, saith the Lord. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame hath covered our faces, for strangers are come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. There are strangers in Jerusalem. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because Yahushua hath spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great voice. When her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voices uttered, because the spoiler is come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken, for Yahushua of recompenses shall surely requite. And I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the King, whose name is Yahushua. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. The word which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Sariah the son of Neriah, the son of Messiah, when he went with Zedekiah the king of Judah into Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. And this Sariah was a quiet prince. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that shall come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou comest to Babylon and shall see and shall read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Yahushua, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, that it shall be desolate forever. And it shall be, when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it, and cast it into the midst of the Euphrates. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. There's one more part, but I'm going to make a part 2. And maybe I can just do it right now. Yeah, I think I can. Revelation chapter 17. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's right. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beasts, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. The whore, the woman that rides the beast, Babylon, America, the daughter of Babylon. That's right. I guess I'd do it in one part. All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, and all praise to you lost sheep of the house of Israel, you so-called blacks, native indigenous Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Pacific Islanders, confusion of face, of native indigenous descent or Negro descent by the house of your father, and all praise to the Gentiles scattered abroad, sanctified by the Father to come to this truth, so we can all get to the kingdom, hopefully. Shalom. Pay attention to the signs.